things aren't going well. If you couldn't tell, they're not going well. I'll bring it back when I get mad again. It's gonna happen. Bad girl. Bad. She's been a bad girl. Bad girl. If it's your car, drive it off the cliff, sell it, take it to the ghetto or leave the keys in it running. You know what? No friendship's worth going through what I just went through. Welcome back to Ryan Hamill. Soup to nuts. Yeah. Now this video, you'll be working on my daily 2007 Nissan Murano. I have to put a new alternator in. It's gonna be fun. You are tuned in to Ryan Campbell, Soup to Nuts. How you doing? How's the wife and kids? They bury her yet? What the fuck is wrong with people? Who just rolls up in front of somebody else's house and just fucking slams on the brakes? In the middle of the road? What the fuck's wrong with people? What the fuck is wrong with people? What the fuck? Back to the video at hand. I get a little distracted sometimes, so what are you gonna do? So, alternator is bad in the Murano. So I was driving down the road, the little battery light, I'll show you in a second. A little battery light came on the dash. Luckily I got home, and I used the voltmeter. I checked the battery with the car not running, and it was a little low, but not too bad. The battery's only like a year old, so that should be good. And then I started the car back up, and it was reading like 11.7 volts or something like that. And for those who don't know, while it's running, good working alternator, you should be, you know, bare minimum like high 13 volts, like 13.7, 8, 9, something like that. And if you're around 14, you're running tip top. But if you're in the high 13s, you're still good too. But if you're at 12 or lower, you're effed. You're effed. You're effed. And actually, I parked the car like over there. And it was like a little easier spot to work here, so I moved the car over, and I was barely able to do it. As soon as I put it into gear, like the RPM dropped to like 300, I didn't have like hardly any throttle. Luckily, I got it out, but yeah, it took a little finessing from your boy. So before we get into it, if you like this video, or even if you don't like it, you should like it, because I said so. Give me a like, comment, all that good crap, and please subscribe down here. Give me a good old subscribe and thumbs up. I appreciate it. Now I'll show you the battery voltage with the car not running, and then I'll start it up and I'll show you what I'm dealing with, and then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of things. I apologize the glare with the camera screen. It's not showing perfectly, but hopefully you can kind of make out. I'll read you the numbers anyway while I'm doing it. So I have it set to 12 volt on the voltmeter. You got the negative here, positive here. This goes to ground, negative is ground, and then positive is for power. So basically you just touch it to the two leads of the battery. So the car's not running now, so 11.89, 11.9 volts. Car just sitting there, keys not in, nothing like that. There's nothing on in the car right now at all. So it's at 11.9, 11.91, 11.92, right around 11.9-ish. So now I'll start the car and show you what the voltage is real quick, and then I'll grab the camera and run into the car really quick. I don't want to get the car too hot because I'm about to work on it. So and then I'll run it really quick and show you the battery light on the dash, and then I'll shut it off. Alright, so it's a reading 11.37, 11.38, 11.39, 11.38, high 11.3, which is way, way low. And then you see on the dash here, that's the battery light. The brake light's on for some reason, even though the brake's not on. So, and then I'll show you what happens with the RPMs when I put it in gear. See, it's in gear. Hardly any RPMs. I'm hitting the throttle now. Hitting the throttle, nothing. I'll show you what I'm about to do, and then I'm gonna do a time lapse. It's kind of hard to see even without the camera, but like straight down there is the alternator. See if you can see a little bit of it. Where you kind of see that little copper that's like inside of the alternator, so that's the edge of the alternator. You can't see too much on this side either. It's a tight fit to take all this out too, so basically there's two bolts holding it in. I'll show you on the new one what I have to take apart. But it looks like one of the bolts is easier to get to through the wheel well. There's like a little plastic piece in here. I can't see that either. The shadowing sucks. So I'm going to take this wheel off, and there's a little plastic piece for the lower bolt that looks like it's easier to get from the bottom. So I'm going to do that, and then this is the new guy. This is where the plug goes in for a sensor or whatever. I honestly don't know what those wires do. So plug goes in here. This is where the wire coming from the, or going to the battery bolts on right here. Obviously, this is where the pulley belt hooks on, like wraps around. And then there's one bolt here that holds it. That kind of comes from the back. Like this is the pulley is like where like the wheel, like the frame rail is, and like the rest of the engine's over here. So yeah, I got one bolt that comes from the back here. Obviously, a pulley bolt's here, and then down at the bottom, there's a long bolt that goes through these two holes. And I think it comes straight out. So this is like where the fender plastic would be that I have to take apart to get to. So fingers crossed, this goes all right. But you never fucking know. So this is, I realize, not a good thing to really time lapse because you don't really see much, but there's a little bit going on. It's because it's all tight. So I think I'm just gonna do like video step by step of like what I have to take apart and what I have to do, and show you what's going on. All right, so right here, this is the tensioner that puts tension on the belt, and then there, right there, that's the alternator pulley. That's the alternator. It looks like it's gunked up with oil. There was an oil leak. I did replace the valve cover, both valve covers a while ago. I don't know if it's from that and it's just, took its toll at that point, or if this is fresh. So I'm going to clean everything up once I get this apart, and then keep an eye on it. If I have to replace the valve cover again, I'll replace the valve cover again. What are you going to do? But anyway, back to what I have to do here. So what I have to do, first I have to take the tension, loosen the tensioner up so I can get the belt off. So first, there's the nut here, where my middle finger is. That has to be just broken loose. And then there's another nut that's like straight down from the top that I have to unscrew. Then I'll take the tension up, and then I can get the belt off. And then it looks like the bolt for the lower alternator bolt is like kind of where my finger is. And you can see this pulley is kind of in the way. So I'm probably going to have to take the whole pulley off, I'm thinking. So it looks like there's two bolts here, and once it's loosened up, I can push them up. So there's two bolts there. I don't know if there's any other bolts or whatever, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But that's what I'm going to start with. So I'm going to loosen this up, get this belt off. Probably have to take this off. Then after that, I'll take the bottom nut off of the alternator, and then I'll work from the top to disconnect the the wires, and then the one other bolt that I already showed you, and then I should be able to get it out. And hopefully this goes as okay as it can go. So I'll bring it back in after I get this bottom crap apart. This fucking car is taking years off of my fucking life. Don't ever fucking do this goddamn alternator job in this car. It is goddamn motherfucking brutal. Brutal. Fucking brutal. I'd rather cut my fucking arm off. Beyond not fun. Fucking beyond. Not fun? You're like, not fun is here? It's fucking beyond that. Like, way beyond that. It's that excruciating. It's beyond excruciating. I mean, just look at me. Look at this. I look like fucking Mike Tyson here. What the fuck? Things aren't going well. If you couldn't tell, they're not going well. I got the alternator out. Did that. So the problem is, as you can see, it is one greasy little bitch. That's why it went bad. But to get that bastard out, you see them? That's the radiator fans. Yeah, radiator fan. Fans for the radiator. Radiator fan. Clearly, I had to take the engine cover off. Had to disconnect the top radiator hose to get the radiator fans out. Had to get the radiator fans out to be able to wiggle this bitch. It wasn't this cavity here. But you can't drop it down unless you take out the AC compressor as well. And I'm not trying to mess with that at all. So you can't go down. There's no way to go down with it. It doesn't go down. Fucking doesn't go down. You can't go out either. It's a frame rail. Frame rail. Only way is up here. It's so effing tight. I mean, I barely got it squeezed out of here. Fucking barely. Disconnect all sorts of shit. And take off this fucking harness shit here. So, step by step. So, you saw me, the lower bolt, I took the nut off the one side, and the whole bolt slides out, and that's a bitch to grab in the engine bay, but it slides out. And then you have to take off, this is the power wire here, this is the other wire that clips in here, so you gotta take those two off, and then there's a bolt here that you gotta take out. So I took them out, and then there's another bolt on this bracket that I'm wiggling. It's like kind of right down there. It's a 12 millimeter. It's like right there. So I took that out so that way I could swing these wires out of the way. Then I had to zip tie this. This was hanging in my way, so I zip tied this out of my way. This is the fan harness. Had to unplug that to get. You see that? Those are radiator fans. That's fans for the radiator. Had to come out to replace an alternator. That got thrown too. That was the intake thing that goes right here. Goes to the intake there. That got thrown. Let me show you something else that got thrown. Because I was under a dirty car, I was wearing safety glasses. I couldn't find them, but safety glasses got ripped off my head, bent in half. Like this. They got bent in half like this and thrown into that fence. Now I don't know where they are. Maybe that dog took them. Maybe that puppy needs safety glasses. So I disconnect that. Then I had to wiggle. I mean, it's tight as shit. It was rubbing against the radiator. As you could tell, it dented it up pretty well. But I got it wiggled up. It finally got wiggled out. Thankfully, I had cracked this. I thought I was going to crack this coming out. But I didn't. Thankfully. But there's no other fucking way. I was a few minutes away from taking the whole radiator out. That was next. But I want to disconnect those lines at the bottom because I think that's for a transmission cooler. And if I disconnect them, I'm guessing that a lot of the transmission fluid will start spilling out. And I didn't want to deal with that. I already lost some antifreeze. And you see it's all wet here. It's all antifreeze. That's antifreeze. Everywhere. Squirted all over the place. That was fun. Woosa. The hood got slammed too. See that? Handprint. Hood got slammed. So, my expert advice. Don't ever fucking do this job. Don't fucking do it. Just drive the car, get it towed to a fucking junkyard. Fuck the alternator, fuck the car. Fuck it all. Motherfucking all. Alright, so, I mean, at this point of the attempt, I'm losing daylight here. I'm going to attempt to get this puppy back together. Wish me luck. Like a whole shit ton of luck. Like a whole fleet of rabbit's feet luck. I'll bring it back when I get mad again. It's going to happen. Or possibly, if I'm like lucky as hell, get the alternator back in. We'll see what happens first. Moment of truth, you sons of bitches! So, I got everything back together. Got the old girl back together. It was a bitch, pretty much. The biggest, hardest part was really getting the two bolts that hold it and bounce it in place. Getting them lined up and put it in and tighten it. Once they're in and threaded, they're okay. It wasn't too bad, but getting it in and getting everything lined up was a major pain in the ass. Bad girl. Bad. She's been a bad girl. Bad girl. Very bad girl. So got that in. Obviously got everything squared away here. I did spill coolant, so I added some coolant to the radiator. I topped off the reservoir here. Checked the oil. Added a little oil. Had the battery charger going on it. Charged it up. I'll show you the voltage in a second. I still have it on a jack stand. I didn't jack it down yet. Got the jack there. But I do have the wheel on. I just didn't tighten it yet. The lug nuts are on. I just didn't tighten it. But fingers crossed. She should be a good little girl. Maybe she'll turn into a Cinderella princess at midnight and be nice to me. So I'll show you the voltage of just the battery, and then I'll start it, and we'll see what the hell happens. I know the screen on the camera, you know, it's not reading out too well. It's like kind of making it look like oil slick. But right now I got it zeroed out. So I got them zeroed out, got it all set up here. So let's check the voltage with the car off. Alright, 12.38 to 12.4. So that's decent with the car not running. So let's give her a start and see what the hell happens. See what's in the cards for me. So far, so good. That's a thing of beauty. 14.35. Perfect. Perfecto. Perfectamundo. I hate people that say that. So, in conclusion, don't ever change an alternator on a Nissan Murano. Ever. Don't. If it's your car, drive it off a cliff, sell it, take it to the ghetto, or leave the keys in it running. I mean, it might not be running because your alternator is shot, but you get the picture of what I'm getting at here. If you got a friend that has one, you know what? No friendship's worth going through what I just went through. I mean, I'd rather donate a kidney than do what I just did. Again, you know, if you're trying to help out a parent or something like that, they have it, you're trying to help them out, get another parent. They're not worth it. Go to IneedNewParents.com. They'll hook you up with a good one. Maybe they'll be rich. You never know. So, come here often. So, yeah. Hopefully I'll never have to do this again. Luckily, I did get nice weather day. Thank the Lord. Temperature was great. You saw me in t-shirt the whole time. So, yeah, that was one blessing. I didn't get many. That was the only one. The only one. That's it. That's all I got. Got one for the day. I don't know what's coming up soon because this video is probably going to be out of sequence because I have a bunch of other 350Z videos to get out. So I'm actually going to this one's going to be coming out later than I actually did it. Live with it. Live with it. Just be happy or entertaining. I'm entertaining, not you. Maybe you are. I don't know. If you're entertaining, hit a boy up. Maybe we'll do a video together. So I don't know what's coming up next, but I'm sure it'll be something fantastic, because I'm fantastic. Not today. I suck today. I mean, well, I just got punched in the face today. So, in the meantime, like, comment, share, all that good crap. Subscribe down here. I'd appreciate it. And I gotta go get cleaned up and beat my spouse. I don't even have a spouse. So, that can't happen. I don't even have a girlfriend. Yeah, welcome to my life. Welcome to my... And don't commit domestic abuse, domestic violence. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Go to IneedANewWife.com. Boom. You'll get hooked up. Tinder will take care of you. So, in the meantime, do all that crap, subscribe, and don't forget to drive fast, take chances.